This video has been prepared to provide the customer a startup procedure. You'll receive the blower package with protective crating. First, you'll unwrap the package and inspect the package. During this inspection, you want to check for any damages. Report any issues with pictures in the description and send us an email and we'll be able to answer your questions. Once the packaging is removed, now we can place the package on its foundation. Place it on at the proper location. We don't want to wire the motor at this time. All we want to do is locate the package on the foundation. We want to check the levelness of the package. It's very critical. The foundation's level, and if the foundation's level, then the blower package will be level. You check the level using your general long level. We're going to place this down, and on this test location, we can see where we're at level-wise. Slightly off, but still right. Place the level now on the blower package, and we see that it's level. We want to check it on both sides. The front along the long side and along the back side. You can see here we're slightly off level. But for our test, this will be fine. We want to make sure that all the support legs of the blower package, all 6 support legs, are in solid contact with the foundation. For our review, ideally, we would like to keep the discharge open atmosphere. The inlet filter, this is where air is drawn in from the atmosphere, can also be open atmosphere. Now we remove the drive guard to show you the next part of what we check out during the startup procedure. What we want to do is to make sure that the blower rotates by hand. We should be able to rotate this blower freely, as you can see we can do. Now, a delay in a startup may allow film of rust to form on the blower lobes. This may require slightly greater pressure on the V-belt to rotate the drive. This is not a serious issue. Once you get the blower moving freely, you should be fine. The next thing we want to do is check the belt alignment, and we want to use a straight edge. So I could use the same level that I use to check the level of the blower package. And so what we do to check the alignment is to place a straight edge on one sheave and lower it down slightly, rotate it until it gets to the other sheave, and to see how aligned it is. We're off by maybe a 1/16 of an inch. That's fine. Now, if we're off by greater amount than that, we want to
tension.
We also want to check the belt tension. So we can deflect, put pressure on here by our finger. If we get about a 1-inch deflection, we'll know we'll be fine. An O&M manual clearly describes exactly how to do this, but doing this test as I'm showing right here should be fine. The next thing we want to do is check the oil level. And this blower has 2 oil reservoirs, one on the front and one on the back. The blowers have been filled with oil prior to shipment, and they're at the proper location, about halfway up the sight glass on both sides. Now, should you see a level lower than that, look at your O&M manual, and they'll tell you the type of oil put in and the location. So you have 2 locations you have to put oil in. The back end here, this plug, and the front end is this plug. And that'll allow you to add extra oil should you need to.
Do not overfill.
Do not overfill. You cannot overfill the blower. So now I'm going to install the drive guard, because we're going to be ready to run this unit shortly.
My way, John. A little more.
Oh wait, is it on there? It's off. All right. Now, once the guard's reinstalled, we can actually provide power to the blower.
I want to make sure the guard's not touching the belts or the shafts and it's all clear so it didn't get bent in transit.
Now with the main supply, power supply, we can run the wiring to the motor. So we're wiring it per the instructions on the conduit box. Now we are ready. That might not be. It's on there, motor. Now we're ready to provide power to the motor. The blower has a rotational arrow on the guard, so we want to make sure that the blower is rotating properly. In this case, it has to be rotating counterclockwise. So we're going to provide power to the blower, let it run for about 5 seconds and turn it off to verify the proper rotation of the blower. So in this case, the blower rotation is correct, so we're ready to run this blower. Again, we have the discharge open to atmosphere, which is what we like to do, so there's no restrictions forced on this package. So it's open to atmosphere. Now, should you already have this thing piped into your process, we have to make sure that any valves in the discharge line are open to process. We need a clear path for the air to travel unrestricted to the process. I'm going to turn on the blower and we're ready to operate it. And this is the conclusion of startup procedures. Very simple. What we want to do is, of course, for maintenance is check the inlet filter. These have to be replaced on a regular basis depending on the environment. We want to check the blower oil and change the oil as required. And on a given period of time, we'll also want to remove the guard and check the belt tension just to make sure the belts are still tight, because they will stretch. 3 things that concern: inlet filter, oil in the blower, tension on the belts. I'd recommend you doing this once a week, once every 4 weeks, until you develop a operation that you feel comfortable with. Again, if you have any questions, we're going to send you this in a written format with email addresses. You can contact us and we'll be glad to help you out at any time. Thank you.